Hey, welcome to Podstache. We got donuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've had
Many.
2.
Well, that's
I just had
two more than
so
me.
far.
Stall a little bit until Goop gets back. Welcome to Podstache. To my left, we got
Brian Lee.
there.
There, Christopher Lee.
And here we have
Zebra.
So, this is Podstache.
Yep.
Wednesday's episode, hump day, middle of the fucking week. This will be airing on me and Brian's recovery day from the Death to All tour,
Yes.
which we're very excited to go to.
This should be good.
If you don't like metal, you don't care, but it's kind of an iconic show for us. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, Chris, you got some shit.
I'll just go and jump into it.
Hey, I'm Chris, wacky weatherman. How's it look outside, Chris?
Hot.
All right, let's get your clothes off. All right, wait, what?
Get your penis?
Gingers. The first quick thing is start with a simple question. Do you make your bed after
No.
you wake up? Do you make your bed after you wake up? I know I do not, and I don't.
We can only assume Cooper.
Took a wild guess on this one.
So my question is making your bed a generational thing? I think both mom and dad still do.
I literally wake up, hop in the shower, get in my car.
Yeah.
So for me, like, it's literally just roll out of bed, don't look at the fucker until I get home at night.
See, I was going to say it's a gender thing. But I don't know.
It's iffy. I mean,
I haven't been to a girl's house in a long time.
because Liz will make it if she's home. If she has the day off, she'll make the bed in the morning. But if she's like going to work too, she has shit to do before she goes to work too. So it's not always made, which I don't mind because for me it's just like a place to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't gotta show it off to anybody.
Yeah.
Now, like, let's say like when I was single, and if I had anyone over, I would like make my bed. Just because
It does.
like,
It does make the room look better.
yeah, it looks less like scum hole because I've lived in basements until I lived with Liz.
Yeah.
So it'd make it look less like a rape hole and more like a
Rape hole.
rape hole with a bed. So I used to make my bed when I was single,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's been 2 years out now. So.
no.
Yeah. Oh, hey, buddy. I just sleep there.
And then, and I pull up the other thing.
Cooper must be pooping right now.
I
Man.
think that's why he wanted us to start.
Oh.
Hope he clogs it. And he has to ask for a plunger on the air.
Have you random? Here's a quickie random one. You ever shit at a girl's house that you've been like doing things with, and then had to plunge the toilet afterwards, or like had to like awkwardly figure out how to make that work?
No.
Okay, it's really uncomfortable. It's happened more than once to me.
What are you eating, boy?
That was just a quick question.
The
You're fucking weird, anyway. Donut.
donuts. In this digital age of ours, the information age, if you will,
Welcome to the digital age.
We have the internet.
Sound of a modem. Connecting you to the whole world at lightning fast speeds. Dial up.
To access your email or electronic mail, type in www.aol.com/mail. You've got mail. Let's just look here in our mail a bit. Got some great coupons here.
Click twice in rapid succession to open an email. Oh, too slow.
Let's try that again.
Bring.
You have opened up your mail. While that's loading, let's go to our Yahoo search engine.
no, it'd be like Netscape or something. Net Zero.
Ask Jeeves.
So you want to go online? Let's take out our disc for our 50 free hours of America Online. Do you make your bed?
Make my bed.
Yeah.
Do I? Oh, no.
No. Yeah.
Not about you.
So, we're in the information age.
Welcome to the information.
We've moved from the digital to the information.
Insert your 3.5-inch floppy disk into the drive and lock it.
Have you ever seen, just to go back, have you ever seen Electric Zombie? Do you know who they are?
No.
Electric Zombie is a t-shirt printing company that I've somehow became friends with from someone else on Facebook. But those guys specifically just make their own designs, and they're really fucking cool. And then, like, they just built a huge base. So, I mean, with the screen printing thing, that might be a possibility, too.
I thought about that. Just, like, make your own clothing line.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's not many, like, metal clothing line that isn't, like, Hot Topic.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's a whole market of, you know, snowboarding clothing and, you know, shit like that.
Come on, Tap Out. Well, Tap Out and Affliction. Affliction used to be like a metal clothing line.
Really?
Yeah.
Now look at them.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at them now. But it used to be like metal clothes, like legit trying to do like metal fashion in a way.
Metal suits of armor.
Hey, aren't raccoons only supposed to come out at night?
Yeah, if they're out in the day, they're usually rabid.
No, there's frequently I see like lots of raccoons over there.
In our backyard?
Yeah.
I know there's a family of cats living back there.
I know the cats, but then there's raccoons.
Brian Lee can't tell the difference between a cat and a raccoon.
Hey there, pretty kitty.
I'm pretty sure if they're out during the day, they're just walking around, they're usually got rabies.
Oh, no, they seem pretty coherent.
Is it during the middle of the day?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, yeah, but it's not like they disappear. You know what I mean? Like, they've got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, usually they sleep all day, and they go out and they'll fucking rip your trash apart at night because they're cunts.
Fucking coons.
God damn it.
What?
We should lynch them.
Raccoons.
So we're in the information age.
Yeah.
And, you know, and there's lots of talk with, you know, SOPA and CISPA and all this stuff. So my question is, with our generation, why is there such a sense of privacy? Why are people so up in arms about it?
We're not.
We are, but we're not. There's always been with the younger generation of children, no matter what generation it's been in. There's always been that desire for privacy.
SOPA and PIPA, we don't want people to come. We want privacy that they don't have to. We don't want them to come in and sneak in on our shit. But at the same time, we're completely open to putting out whatever we want to put out. So I think we're. You know, the SOPA and PIPA thing is about letting the government access us. You know what I mean? Which I think is legitimate, no matter who you are. But
I know that was you.
but in, like, look at Facebook. I mean, people put up anything. You know what I mean? So I don't think our privacy we're really overly concerned about.
But why are people so up in arms about SOPA and PIPA and CISPA and happy
It's
and
going to stop our
slappy
free
and-
downloads.
So is it just a matter of torrenting that people are worried about?
I think that's the biggest part of it, to be totally honest, is we want free things.
I kind of disagree a little bit. Like, I think that they can, if electronically they can access anything of yours, and they already can do a lot. I mean, like, think about it this way: if you're not carrying cash right now, and the government wanted to fuck you, you'd be fucked. You know, they freeze everything.
Yeah.
But you know, I think you deserve a little bit of privacy to, you know, say you were searching, you know, historic things with 9/11. You don't want someone to be able to tap into that and then mark you as something you're not even. You know what I mean? Like, because it takes away freedom. By taking away that privacy, it kind of takes away the freedom to do things, or you can be labeled a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that would be a bigger fear of
Well,
me.
you'll have to, because of the information age, my attention span is really short now. So, I mean, because wasn't SOPA and PIPA, wasn't that going to like censor like some sites completely? Not torrent sites.
And that basically some people were really worried because there's blog sites and stuff like that make people make their living off of that.
Yeah.
And so say they have a link to another article that they read and it brought up a discussion for them. Well, you know, on certain bases, you know, the government can just shut you down without any cause. I just shut you down. Well, if you shut down for a day or two, you know, your fan base is going to start to go away, or not think of you as reliable. So
God, I hope one of those kids eats shit.
Stop! Did you just yell at
You can answer that.
What are your thoughts, man?
'Cause I'll probably cut out the whole yelling at kids part.
Dude, next after me.
Wait, what?
I just saw like
No, I just asked because, like, when you really think about it, like, why are people so protected of their privacy? Because, I mean, you always hear, especially with the older generation, of, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, then what do you have to hide?
See that? And
well, but we always have been.
But the
That
older-
goes back to the idea.
the
of,
older generation had pure privacy. Do you know what I mean? Like they had way more privacy than
someone
we
is being murdered outside, and it's gonna be me murdering you. Good.
Probably just yelling at the kids. I think it just goes back.
I totally picked up.
Wait, make your neighbors like you.
No. From E.T.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Anyways,
Well, like, to me, the idea of privacy, it goes back. It's always been kind of that way. We want privacy, and I think the older generation is concerned about it in a credit financial way. And now we're getting older, so we're more concerned about our information being out there too. Mm-hmm. I think younger kids don't get it; they just want privacy, and they don't understand why they want it. Maybe, like if that sounds weird, like the idea, like think about like living with your parents, and you lived in your parents' house, but you wanted your room, your private room,
Yeah.
and you wanted to hide things and have your secret diary and your drug stash and shit, secret diaries. And like, but like, I mean, think about that. You wanted your privacy because that's your life, and you don't think anyone else should be bothering you living it. And that's different in a way because your parents most of the time want the best interest, but
your parents are an authority figure, and obviously, like, the government is an authority figure, but like, what do kids really have to hide? Besides maybe drug use?
sexting.
Yeah.
that's hot. For me personally, I've never been. I don't give a shit about my online presence. I don't care if people can search me and find out.
Yeah, I got nothing. Yeah.
It doesn't bug me. So, I don't know. It's whatever to me, Yeah.
I mean, there's people that are just paranoid, man, too. I know a dude who's just paranoid as fuck, and he's kind of dumb as a brick because he's paranoid about the government constantly, but he has like 3,000 friends on Facebook and constantly posts stupid shit about the government. And so it's just like people that are like worried for no real reason and then are paranoid to the point where they're going to post really dumb shit. Then that's themselves being paranoid because they're doing dumb shit that they should be paranoid about, things they're saying they should be paranoid about. And that's just stupid. You don't have to be overly paranoid of the world. I'm weird, man. I like conspiracy theories, but I'm not one of those people who thinks the government isn't out to get all of us. Like, sure, some evil shit happens, but they just fuck up sometimes,
And I hear you, but what I'm trying to say is that the government is like, it's been some nutty shit lately too. I mean, like things that you don't think about, like especially just in the last year, where we're talking about like when women wanted to get, I forgot what state it was, but when women wanted to get an abortion, they had to do a useless procedure that pretty much degraded them.
Right.
Like things like that. Like the idea
they're
is
doing that on
never,
purpose too, though.
Right. But the idea is that the internet is something that is getting more governed, and to an extent I understand that, but to be able to invade and privacy or shut down random things without, with just by their say so, we're giving someone too much power. And even being a Democrat, I still have some Republican roots in that the government shouldn't get too big. You know what I mean? And I think that's just too much power for them. And it shouldn't happen. So.
All right.
Did I not get to a point? Or
No, because it was just like an open-ended question.
I'll hit her car.
It was just a general open-ended question. Because, it seems like people throw such a fit about privacy and online privacy. But then, like, the other day, I was just thinking, like, why are people so...
See, I put it in two different categories because CISPA and what the government's trying to do, and then privacy. Like, are you worried about what you're putting? I mean, like they put out so much. Everybody puts out so much about themselves anyway. It like to me like that. I don't see that as a privacy problem. I think what people are more worried about is the ability of abuse of power when a government system has it. Do you know what I mean? Because it can be easily abused.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Because
and that's got to be where it's worrisome a little bit with Google too. I mean, like look at Google. If you sign up I signed up a new Google account the other day for a side thing that we were doing, and it says, "Do you want Google to track what?" I forgot what the specific word was, but do you want Google to track this certain thing so that when you use Google Plus, that it will be able to kind of register all that stuff for you?
What was that? There was that big thing about how if it's private, people started getting emails. And the ads were directed specifically towards words in the private emails.
Yeah, that type of thing. Google's been doing that for years. If you go to Target or any place where that pops out coupons, two things happen. That system is something that everyone is using, right? It's one system. And basically they do two things. One is coupons trigger on certain things that you buy. And it also triggers on the card that you're using and what your past experience of purchasing is. So they're already doing stuff like that. Google is already way doing stuff like that. If you go to YouTube, those ads pop up based on what you are. It's not necessarily the content that's there. It's kind of what you have been searching in the past. Like I went and signed up for. I needed model releases, so I went to that. What's that online? It's a site where you get legal documents and stuff like that. I forgot. LegalZoom.
Okay.
So all of a sudden I went back to YouTube to watch some videos, and every video I went to, whether I closed my browser and everything, was LegalZoom. And then I got rid of all my cookies and everything like that, and I rebooted the computer and went back up, and then LegalZoom wasn't the ad anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know Google keeps track of every search you do.
Right.
Which is weird.
Well, I mean...
And the reason how I found that out was there's an article that said, hey, Google is tracking you. But also if you typed in a certain address, which I want to say is like google.com/history or something, when you're signed in your whatever Gmail account or whatever, it'll show you everything that you searched for. And like when I was looking through that for like my email, it's just like, whoa. Because it went back to, whenever I started the email, which is like in high school. So I was just like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean... I don't know. It's obviously the internet is a very powerful tool. Some people won't admit it, but I mean, it's something that's just a part of the majority's everyday life.
Of course.
And I think the government. I mean, because I don't know. I mean, because maybe the government is a bigger part of it than what we think. You know. But I think the government really recognizes that the internet is such a powerful thing, and I think they want to kind of. Because, I mean, I'm trying to gather all my thoughts. Because I think the internet's almost more powerful than our government, almost to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that was kind of proven true in the Middle East with all the uprisings.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just like they through communication via the internet, they were able to overthrow a government. So I think if the government feels like they can somehow strong arm the internet and they kind of take over the internet, I guess take over. I don't know, but if they can take over it and put their hand in the pot or whatever the fucking analogy is,
which they've been trying to do for a long time. I mean, plenty of countries have censored TV, censored media, censored internet.
Right.
You can't use certain websites in certain countries. You can't search certain things.
Yeah. Well, and Google announced either earlier this week or last week that I guess more and more governments are requesting Google take down just overall news articles and just articles in general that show certain government activities, parties, whatever, in a negative light. But they said what's really interesting is not only is that coming from places like China where it's kind of expected, but it's also coming a lot from like the West, like United States and Europe and everything. So they just said that this trend is obviously growing of political parties trying to censor basically parts of the internet.
And that's a problem, man. And to me, that's one of the biggest freedoms that we have is the idea to kind of see a little bit beyond, the ability to be able to gather people or 2 million people in a day to be able to sign up against, CISPA or whatever, SOPA or whatever, that's huge. You know what I mean? To be able to take that away is I think that's wrong.
Yeah. And then to further this conspiracy train, there we go.
Chugga.
Next stop, you're fucked.
Not secret bunkers or anything. You're fucked.
Changing it up.
I also saw a part of a documentary on something called the Phoebus cartel. Is anyone familiar with this?
Phoebus.
No. Yeah.
That's a funny word.
Yeah.
That's how my brain works. Phoebus.
And it was basically
Some new techno group?
kind of. It deals with technology. In 1924, so we're going back a little bit, it was basically all these light bulb companies came together in Sweden, and they basically hatched this plan of, we're going to, because obviously at 1924 there's a lot of technical advancements and stuff, and light bulbs are lasting longer and longer. But all these companies met up together at one point and said, hey, we're going to limit every single light bulb to 1,000 hours. If any company makes a light bulb that lasts longer than that, we're going to fine them until they change it. And now, but what's interesting is there's a lot of evidence that shows that this cartel is still around. But like every few years they keep on changing names, so you don't know like what it's called or where they are. So there's this whole idea of, and if you Google like light bulb conspiracy, it'll come up.
Well, that's you know what, and that's what drives me fucking batty about the auto industry. Just with all the fucking advancements that we've made, you can't tell me that we don't have a tire or a fucking hub bearing that that we don't have something that lasts longer than a fucking year. Well, I mean, that's inconceivable. I mean, that it makes zero sense. So just something is up with the fucking auto industry. I mean, because...
Well, with the auto industry, I know it's weird because the auto industry is making all these technological advancements, but it's not something that's very apparent to consumers. Because the fact is, the government is consistently, upping the safety requirements through crash tests and everything. And they're also constantly upping the fuel economy requirements, like every year. So now the easiest way to make a car more fuel efficient is to make it lighter. But with all these safety things, you have to put in airbags. You need to put in, all these computer systems that are ABS and, stability control, traction control. So they need to keep on cramming stuff so the car is safer. So it's
counterproductive.
It's basically these car companies need to figure out a way to make a car, heavier by putting in safety stuff. And obviously they want it to be faster than, the previous model. So people can go, ooh, it's faster.
Yeah.
They want... because we're Americans and we're getting fatter, they want seats that are wider, that have more leg room. So they're just making a car that's bigger and bigger, but they are also able to make a car that's also more fuel efficient. So cars are getting more technologically advanced, but just in a weird way. But I will agree, tires are fucking weird.
I'm still waiting.
It's air and rubber.
I'm still waiting for bubble cars from the 50s that they all talked about the future having with bubble tops on them. Yeah. I'm still waiting for those.
For your example, there's two things that came to mind, and that is Who Killed the Electric Car? I don't know if you've seen that documentary. 2001, GM comes out with a fully battery powered car. It's not the most amazing thing in the world. I think it's 35 miles per charge, but that's in 2000. And then movie stars and all these people had these cars and they wanted to buy them. They loved the car. They wanted to keep them. And
because when they first came out, they were only available for lease.
Right.
They weren't able
and they
for
took
purchase.
Every single one back. No one was allowed to keep them. And then all of a sudden that just faded away.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a little interesting because what are they, that's kind of getting rid of gasoline, But if they were to work that car 10 years ago and continue that line of thought till today, what could we have done with an electric car?
Well, it's just
someone has. I'm sure that had to have advanced more.
Because GM now has the Volt, which is, I think, is that all electric or electric and gas?
They have both.
Okay, so that's both. But then there's also companies like Tesla, which, I mean, granted, they cost like $1 bazillion, but it's all electric and it's a sports car.
Right.
So, I mean,
but
some people
I'm
are
saying
continuing it, but it's
going slower now, because they don't want it to change.
But
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Or-
doesn't it? Go ahead.
Okay, and then we can go look at our roads. My grandfather, and I think I've probably told you all this before, but my grandfather did a lot of the roads on 90 and 290 and all that stuff, and he was kind of the head of that. He worked for Harry Coon, and
Like in your backyard.
anyways, his biggest
Episode
fight and
title.
argument is that you can make roads that lasted 20, 30 years, but they don't want that. They want roads that only last 2 to 3 years before you have to start filling the potholes and redesign those because
What's the point? Because we got to pay for that no matter what. Like, why don't they just tax us in some other fucking way instead of tax?
don't worry about the taxes.
Well, yeah.
Look
but,
at our
you know.
iPass. Our iPass has doubled in the last year.
Wasn't
Tolls
the
in
original
general, tolls
reason?
in general
Wasn't the
double.
original reason for the tollway?
Yeah.
was
To pay for the roads, and then it was going to get gone, and then
Yeah.
the iPass came out.
Yeah.
And it just became easier. And then we sold portions of those tolls to China, who now own those tolls.
Show the tolls to China, huh?
We did.
So, well, I forgot where I heard it, but I know with the roads, yeah, there was basically a company that came out with materials that lasted way long. Well, I think it was like they lasted 3 times longer, but the problem was they also cost 3 times as much.
Right.
So, politicians were just like, well, we want the cheaper stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's just okay. Like, how long have automobiles been around?
100 years.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay. Let's go. I mean, we could say we've been listening to music, or just like we've been, maybe longer. I mean, you can take it as far as back as the phonograph. But let's
Phonograph.
Let's scoot forward to like CDs, okay, or the way we listen to digital music, okay. It's really weird, and I know I could be just reaching here, but it seems really weird that we've only kind of advanced so far with. I mean, because cars are kind of more or less the same. It works off of an engine in a certain way. I mean, they're kind of more or less. I mean, the whole safety thing and airbags. Yeah. There's lots of advancement, but like as far as like how we listen to digital music, that's advanced so much quicker.
Yeah.
That's out of necessity in a way, though.
No, it's out of money. They know that it's a
music or
consumer-based
cars?
product.
But for them, it's a necessity type of thing. For them, keeping cars and roads shitty is a necessity because they can pile more money on.
Oh, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Music as a necessity to advance, because when 2000 hit, we had this digital music and we had no way to charge for it. So that had to advance in necessity.
Yeah.
Like iTunes had to come out. They had to figure out ways to make money off of music.
Well,
Right.
that and music is way cheaper than cars.
Yeah.
So people are going to buy music more rapidly. So
I know
people
what
are-
you're saying for sure.
Yeah.
But in the same way that the MP3s, iTunes, whatever mark you can buy it from, Amazon, that's a necessity for that business specifically, and that's a government-run entity too. All of them are.
Yeah.
They're government backing, so they're the government's helping them. They help them out. The auto industry is the same way, and for them to keep cars breaking down, keep tires breaking down, keep the roads shitty, you're talking about losing money for the government too.
Yeah.
Which is why they had to.
And a lot of the internet too. I mean, like, how long has it been still like I can still buy stuff without being taxed and shit? Like, I mean, like they put it on our tax return right now. Like Illinois' got to how much stuff did you buy that was untaxed this year, so that they can charge you for it? That's a bunch of bullshit. But I mean, as soon as we find a way,
Zero.
all of these poker sites and stuff got taken down because they weren't in the states. It's all because the government can't get their hand into it yet.
Yeah.
As soon as they find a way, it's fine. We have a boat. You know what I mean? There's a reason that's up because Grand Victoria gives so much money to the school systems and all this other stuff because they are required to.
Yeah.
Cigarette smoking.
Well, it's the sin taxes. The sin taxes are the big money makers in this country.
Yeah.
And as soon as like cigarettes, booze, gambling, those are the 3 big ones.
That and really quick, going back to how cars have evolved, that and you also need to realize that cars have gotten way more reliable. 'Cause, I mean, back in the days, well, even in the let's say 50s. I mean, every time you'd gas up, the guy would come out and he would check your fluids and check your hoses and stuff every time he gassed up. Now, cars are still considered like running well after 100,000 miles.
Well, I mean, but in a way that's kind of weird too, because like for me, I would like to have a nice new car possibly, but at the same time, and this maybe relates slightly, maybe barely. Like, for someone in my economic standing, where I stand in the government, how much money I make and all that, I prefer to drive a little bit older car. Because when it comes down to it, like, with the very basic knowledge of simple car mechanics, any problem that happens in my car, essentially, aside from, like, an alignment, I can take care of.
Yeah.
With a newer car, you can't do shit to them, and that's part of the auto industry, too. They realize people get smarter and smarter. It's easier. I guarantee it's easier to work on like a car from the 50s than it is from the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And it's easier to work on like my car from 91 than it is Liz's car from 2000, 10 years later.
But I
can't do shit to her car.
You're going to have to work on that car more often, though.
But at the same time, it's cheaper. It's still cheaper.
Well, that's another thing I don't even know if I want to get into. It's just...
Well, let's wrap this one up and then we'll go into the next episode.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Balance of time and money. Is that what you're talking about? Never mind. We'll be right back. Bye-bye.
Hey.